everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm working on a tiny home in the beach or on the beach of Simmary in the world of Simmary is what I was trying to say. Wow, this is starting off great, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm working on this tiny home in Simmary, and as you could probably tell, the shell of the house was already there. That's because this is my own take on my current shell challenge that I'm hosting over on Twitch. Every once in a while, I will do a little shell challenge on Twitch. We will just sit down together on stream and build the shell, and I will upload it to the gallery, and then a bunch of people will participate in the shell challenge. And then I also do shell challenge tours over on Twitch as well. So this is definitely a shell challenge that you can still participate in if you would like. I can put all the information in the description box down below, like where to find the shell, and stuff like that. It's all fairly simple. But yeah, I always also take on my own shell challenge. So that is what I did for this video today. And from the get-go, I kind of knew that I wanted to put it on the beach. This is the first time I'm doing a tiny shell challenge. The build itself, or the interior of the build, I should say, is only 64 tiles. So you can definitely keep it a tiny home, a tier 2 tiny home if you have tiny living. But I added obviously a bunch of porches in the front and in the back and stuff, so that obviously count towards the tile count as well. So this is no longer a tiny home as far as the game is concerned, but the interior of the shell, like the actual interior of the house, is only 64 tiles. So it's very small. I kept it modern. I knew I wanted to make it modern also from the get-go. I don't know why. I just kind of had a vision for this one in my mind. I also knew that I wanted to use this siding from the Growing Together stuff pack in this beautiful orangey wood tone. I really like that wood tone so much, and I love how it combines with the bright blue front door that I used. The front door, the blue color, matches pretty much seamlessly with the color of the water, which to me is so satisfying and such a nice touch. So yeah, for this one, I was definitely going for more modern vibes. I used some industrial modern windows from the Moschino stuff pack. I felt like those were perfect in white. Yeah, it just all looks very clean and nice and modern, but still very cozy because it is only a very small build. So naturally that always makes the floor plan a little bit more on the cozy side. And yeah, I really enjoyed that for this one. I put one bedroom and then also a study or a little office space that you could turn into a second bedroom if you wanted to. That room is very small. It would make a really good nursery or like toddler's bedroom, but you can also fit a full-size single bed in there, so it could function as a full-on second bedroom for a single sim. And then the other bedroom has a larger bed, obviously a double bed, so that is more of like the master bedroom, but the room is very small still. And I was actually thinking of this one as a rental. I thought it would make a very cute little rental home. You could obviously live here, like just use it as a residential as well, but I felt like it would be a very cute little rental lot for your Sims to go on vacation, or maybe even on a honeymoon. I feel like that would also be very romantic and it would work perfectly for that. But also if you have a small family, if you have another Sim coming, like a kid coming along, the house itself isn't very baby proof. That is why I decided to turn the second room into a study instead of a nursery. I could have easily placed like a crib or something in there, but then, you know, it wasn't really too realistic because the rest of the house, like I said, isn't very baby or child proof. We have no fences around the porch or something, anything like that. So it's very easy to fall off and like fall in the water, which obviously in The Sims doesn't happen. But for the sake of realism, I decided, you know what, let's just not make this house meant for children and just turn it into a like little honeymoon rental or whatever, or just like a couple's rental. But just know if you wanted to, you could bring a kid here. There is space for an extra bed. But yeah, for the rest, I did some landscaping. I tried to do some landscaping that you can kind of see around in the world as well. I tried to blend it in that way a little bit because I did build it on a slightly bigger lot. This is obviously a very small little house, but I built it on this lot that's slightly bigger because I just really like this lot. It is still in the more like community area of Simmary, but also like more so on the side. So it still feels very private, even though it does, like it's on this little bay area that is just very cute and cozy. And there is definitely some people swimming around here and some boats around and stuff in live mode, which is just so cozy and wholesome. So it's not all the way secluded, but it still feels very private. And that's why I really enjoy this lot. So yeah, that's why I decided to build it here And I'm just overall very happy with how this one came out. I used lots of plants on the porch and also on the back porch as well. So yeah, lots of plants, lots of greenery. And then for my shell challenges, what I always do is I include one base game item that is mandatory to put in the build somewhere. So you can do whatever you want with it. You can size it up, you can size it down, as long as it's still visible and as long as it's like there somewhere for me to find when I'm touring the shells. It's kind of like an extra mini game when we tour the shells on stream for me to look for that like mandatory object basically. And today, or for this shell, the mandatory object is the pink base game flamingo. So I definitely use it. It came in handy for this build actually because I was building it in Solani. I kind of already had that set in my mind that I wanted to do something in Solani. So that is probably why I thought the pink flamingo was a good idea because, you know, it just really suited my ideas for it. So that may have been a little selfish, but still, I feel like the flamingo is cool. I don't think I have ever used it before in any of my builds ever. So it was a nice touch and like a nice little challenge to incorporate it in a build. But here, before we're moving on to the interior of the house, I first decorated the front porch and also the back porch because I was just feeling so inspired. It's always this time of year, like the spring time of year, where I become excited for the summertime basically. And that is when I tend to build in Solani because I think it just means that I'm ready for a little vacation. I'm ready for a little summery getaway, dive in the ocean type of a situation. And that is when I'll feel inspired to build in Solani. So that is why the timing of this is the way that it is. I think there's more Solani builds to come in the upcoming few weeks because I'm feeling very inspired once again to build here. It really comes in waves. Pun not intended because this is an ocean world. But yeah, it really just comes and goes with me, the Solani vibe. And it's usually this time of year, the springtime, where I'll feel inspired to build here. Like I said, because the summer is kind of coming, the nice weather is starting. Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy the vibe. So yeah, that's why we're here today. And then for the interior, my goodness, I was struggling with how to lay this out for the longest time. I placed this kitchen, I fully finished this kitchen, and then I decided to place it on the opposite wall because I was struggling with the living room situation layout. It was too cramped. I didn't like it. And we did decide when I built this over on stream that we wouldn't put a TV in this house because who needs a TV when you're in Solani, when you're in a pretty world like this, vacationing, you have the ocean, you can just, if you wanted to look at something, just enjoy the view, basically, is kind of the vibe that we were going for. So that's why I moved the kitchen to the opposite wall and I had a little love seat couch facing the window, and then there's no TV, but then there is that beautiful view out of the window. I thought that would make a lot more sense. So yeah, that's what I did eventually. Here you can see me swapping around the kitchen. Sadly, it meant that we didn't have space for the island counters, which was sad because I really liked the island counters in here. It made a lot of sense, but the house was just too small for it. It's really just give and take with these tiny homes. You really have to make your sacrifices. So I got rid of the island counters, but we did have space for this small, round, higher up table from Tiny Living, which still made it so that I could use the bar stools. I was really enjoying that vibe. So that's what I did for this build. And then I used this little love seat couch, the more boho type of couch. I think that one is from high school years, if I'm not mistaken. I really like this couch, especially in this color swatch. The white, the neutrals are just very nice. They work very nicely with this style of house, I feel like, because this is a more modern house, but I also definitely went for some more like boho vibes because it just really suits the island lifestyle and like just the island overall vibe very nicely. So that is what I did. And then here, as you can see, we have a tiny little living room with just a love seat couch and then also a little ottoman or poof chair in the corner as well that your Sims can use. And we have a nice little coffee table that I cluttered up with some little knickknacks. And then these puzzles were actually so perfect. I placed that clutter piece of the puzzles underneath the end table there. It's so perfect because the top box has like this tropical island displayed on it. So it's like a tropical island puzzle. How perfect is that? So I had to use that in this build, which was so fun. And then here we're going back to the kitchen, trying to sort of clutter it up in a way. I didn't really have a lot of space for clutter because we only have one small little corner counter that's free of decorations, or like literally the only one that we have left that isn't the stove or the sink. So obviously we need the kitchen to be usable, so I didn't really have any room to place clutter on the countertops. But yeah, I also swapped out the shelf that I was using for these base game overhead cabinets. I felt like we really needed some more storage space because we barely have any storage space in this house or in the kitchen. So I swapped out the shelf that I used before for these base game overhead cabinets so that we have some more storage space that way. Obviously Sims don't need storage space, but I like to take these things into consideration for the sake of realism, I guess. And then the floor plan made it so that we had this entryway space, which for tiny homes, I always feel like that is a little bit of a waste of space, but it is the way the floor plan just ended up looking. So I made the most of it. I placed a bookcase there, which is a nice functional item. So if your Sims want to read a book or something, they can. We have a functional bookcase in here. And then I just placed a large mirror and some just entryway knickknacks, if you will. And then here we have the master bedroom. For a tiny home, I feel like the master bedroom is a very nice size. So it's actually pretty spacious. We have this double bed in here that is accessible from both sides, and then one nightstand because, I don't know, I just wanted to place the bed a little bit off center so that I had the space for a nightstand. I thought that would be cute, so that is what I did. And I used this lamp, this side table lamp from the new Grow Together pack in the green swatch. I don't think I've used it before in the green swatch, and it's just so pretty. It is such a beautiful color, so I was very happy to use it in here. For the color scheme of this build overall, I really tried to keep it down. I really tried to keep it more neutral, but then we have some pops of color here and there. I was mostly inspired by the color of the front door, the blue color of the front door that matches seamlessly with the water in the ocean. I was very inspired by that color, so I used a backsplash in that same color in the kitchen, and then I used the matching floor tiles to that backsplash in the bathroom to kind of just have it all flow together seamlessly. And then here in the master bedroom, I cluttered it up with some knickknacks, not too many because I was definitely thinking that this would be a rental. I did want to make it look like people were staying here right now. So we definitely have some clutter. We have like a hair dryer and stuff. And some little decorations on the dresser. And we also have a little suitcase next to the bed, which I thought was very realistic as well. So it definitely feels like people are staying here right now, but it's not overly cluttered, like not overly so. And then this is the second bedroom that is super small that I turned into an office. But you can see that you could fit a single bed in here if you wanted to, or a crib or a taller bed for that matter fits in here. I decided to turn it into a study because, I don't know, maybe your Sims want to get some work done and a computer is just a nice skill building item to have. We don't have a TV in here. So then you could also use the computer to like play some games, get your fun up quick, stuff like that. A computer is just nice and handy to have in a rental. So I decided to include it here. And then I did clutter up the desk a little bit because I just like doing that. So we have a box with some stuff in there, which might not be the most realistic thing for a rental, but I just liked how it looked in there. And then we have a second bookcase in here as well because I had the space for it. If you wanted to swap that out for another skill building item, like an easel or something, there is definitely space for that as well. So yeah, you could swap some things around here if you wanted to. And then here we have the bathroom, the one and only bathroom of the house, obviously, because it's a tiny home. We don't have a shower tub combo in here. I was going to, but then I was like, you know what? No, let's just go for a walk-in shower. It just felt a little bit more appropriate for a tiny home on an island like this. I don't know why, but I just really like the walk-in shower idea. So that's what I did. And then it's just a very basic bathroom with a sink and a toilet and yeah, nothing too fancy, but it does have everything that your Sims would need. And I think it turned out really nice, but that's about it for this tiny home. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the tiny home in the game. It's so small, but I really like the vibes of it. We have lots of seating lighting areas and stuff around. Here you can see on the front porch, we have a little seating area back here, and I placed the flamingo here in front as well. We have some landscaping to kind of have it blend in with the world a little bit better. And then back here, we have our back porch. It's actually basically two back porches. We have a little staircase going a step down, and this is where there's a lounge area, and we also have a nice fire pit out here. And then over here, partially undercover, we have a seating area and also a dining table out here. And then in the corner, we have a grill. You can see that I play tested. There is some, I have no idea what that is, like weird looking soup on the grill. And we also have a yoga mat. So if you wanted to do some yoga, some wellness, you can work on that as well. But then when we go inside here, we have a nice entryway space. I just placed a couple of shoes and things. And then over here, we have a nice mirror. And then through here, we have basically the rest of the house. So here we have the living room space with a coffee table. I was very happy with these sunglasses for some reason, because it made a lot of sense to place sunglasses on a coffee table in this house because we're in Solani, and that made me very happy. As you can see, we have no TV. We do have some puzzles here, but if you wanted to put a small TV, you could definitely place it here on the end table. Over here, we have a nice dining table, and then over here we have the kitchen. I'm loving the blue accents in this house. It just makes me very happy. The color makes so much sense for this build, and I just love the vibe. Then over here, we have the master bedroom. So we have a nice double bed, a small suitcase here in the corner, which I thought would make sense for a rental. We have a dresser with a couple of decorations, and then a nice little reading corner over here as well, and another wardrobe for some more storage. Over here, we have the study space, which is very tiny, but we do have a nice desk and a computer, and then also a bookcase back here. And of course, last but not least, we have the bathroom. This one is really nothing special, but I like the walk-in shower with this island living window, a toilet in the corner with a nice hanging plant for the boho vibes, and obviously just a sink. But that is basically it for this build. So this tiny beach home is up on the gallery. It comes in at a little bit over 41,000 simoleons. It's not that bad, but it's definitely not a starter home. As a rental, it would probably be not super cheap, but you know, that's okay. It is a nice romantic little rental in Solani, so that's good. And I built it on a 30 by 30 in the world of Solani, so if you want to place it in your game, then that is where it goes. I did build this for my own Simmary tiny shell challenge, and I will put all the information on how to participate and stuff in the description box down below as well. But that's gonna do it for today's video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My name on the gallery is simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on TikTok if you'd like. My name on there is simmarysims. And if you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. If you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/simmarysims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!